Hey Toy Family, this is the Marsham Toy Hour and we're back from the Five Points Fest in Brooklyn, New York. I'm Gary Ham,
I'm Teresa Hawkins.
and joining us is Cory Rutter, one of our sponsors. He's from Strange Cat Toys. Welcome, Cory.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good. Now, Cory, you were at Five Points Festival too, and you went last year and this year, correct?
Yeah, last year I just went to be like a spectator, and then this year I actually exhibited.
And that's exactly why we wanted to have you on, because you've been to both events and you've experienced it both as an attendee and a vendor. So it'll be nice to get your perspective on it. And for those who aren't familiar, the three of us attended the Five Points Festival, which was held in Brooklyn, New York this year. Very cool 2-day event presented by the fine folks at Clutter Magazine. And then actually the night before the event, everyone attended the Designer Toy Awards, which is also held just a couple blocks away from the Five Points Festival. So, Teresa, you almost didn't make it to the event, though.
Oh my God, I know. It was it was a crazy Friday for me. Uh, should I share? Would you like me to
Sure.
share the crazy?
I only share if you're comfortable with reliving the moment, because I know it was a very stressful day for you.
Yeah, well, so already, like, I had, you book flights months in advance. You feel like, okay, I'm good. I've got it all prepared. But of course, the morning of Friday, I started getting all these text messages. Flight delayed, flight delayed, flight delayed. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then all of a sudden I get a new one, flight canceled. And I'm like, oh my God. This can't be happening. And so I was freaking out. Missing the DTAs would suck, but it would even suck more to not make it on Friday at all and
Right.
miss the start of the event. Because being a collector, I need to be there at the beginning to get the things I want. Otherwise, I'm just not going to get any of the
Anything.
stuff. So,
Yeah.
right? So when they canceled me, they were going to give me, I was like looking at my app, and I thought I was going to have the option to pick a new flight. But then all of a sudden, it just auto-assigned me one. And it was a terrible choice. And so I'm talking to my dad, and he's like, if you're ready, just go. So this is like 11 a.m. Friday. He's like, just go to the airport and talk to a human. Anyway, I ended up, what I had to do was basically get put on standby because all of these people's flights were being canceled. I think it was a combination of weather issues because there were a bunch of storms rolling through and
Right.
then air traffic control. Luckily, I got on standby to Atlanta and that went through. And then I did the same thing in Atlanta and got on standby from Atlanta to New York. It just sucked because in Atlanta, once I boarded the plane, a thunderstorm rolled through and I got stuck on the runway for 2 hours sitting on the plane, scared to death that they were going to end up rolling us back and kicking us off the plane saying, oh, we can't fly anymore. There's
Yeah,
storms.
you texted me, because I was in New York City by then. You texted me, Gary, I'm stuck in the tarmac, and the pilot just came on and said there's 37 planes in front of us.
Yeah.
I thought that would take you like 3 hours to get out of there.
Yeah, so first it was like a crazy line, and then he comes back on. We have a thunderstorm rolling through that you can probably see from your window, and they have stopped all arrivals and departures. Like, no. So, it was just like one of those days where you're just on high stress the whole time. But
Right.
it worked out. They didn't throw us off our plane. We eventually took off, and I'm trying to remember. I think I got into New York around 8 or so, but by the time I landed and got in and got to my hotel, the DTAs were supposed to start at 7. I thought, by golly, I'm probably even going to miss it. And I was supposed to present with you. So
You left me hanging. Thanks a lot, gal.
I'm sorry. I didn't do it on purpose.
That's
But
all right.
it was a day. It was a day.
I'm glad. You finally made it. I think you didn't really miss that much. You only missed maybe the first hour. You missed the presenting. I'm sure you're real bummed about that. But you made it, and after that, we had a great event.
Yes, my trip started a little crazy, and I was sad I didn't get to present. I thought it was pretty cool that I got asked to go do that with you, but
Yeah, it sucked that you missed the presenting, but I think the part that I'm most bummed about is when you weren't there for when they did the best media category, and that was the category we were up for. And when the presenter read off Marsham Toy Hour, the room just erupted in loud cheer. That was awesome to hear and experience, and I really wish you were there to hear that.
we got love. Well, thanks everyone for the love.
We got some love. And Cory,
So-
look, I know a lot of people fly into New York the day of the DTAs, and so it's a lot of traveling for everyone. And yeah, any sort of delay could really set people back from arriving in time. And I know, Cory, you're coming from Florida. Did you have any sort of flight complications to getting to the event?
Yeah, and it was a direct flight, so no connections or delays or layovers or anything.
Nice.
Ah, Must have been nice, Cory.
I shacked up with Quicks for the weekend, so
nice.
we shared a hotel, and Travis from Urban Vinyl Daily, and then Josh Devine that works at Kid Robot.
All of you staying in one place?
Yeah.
Nice. Wow. You guys are probably staying closer than we did. We found a great hotel, but it was about, 30-minute walk away?
20 plus. So we stayed at Pod Brooklyn, and I actually really liked the hotel
I love
location.
the hotel.
It was it was a bit further than I remember looking and us talking about it. I was like, oh, it's about a mile. It's not too bad. It ended up being, I think, a little bit further than we would have preferred from all the different venues.
Yeah. Next year we'll get a little closer.
Yeah.
So should we just jump in and start covering the Designer Toy Awards?
Yeah.
How about we do this? We'll go through and we'll mention all the winners first, and we'll compare it to our prediction pool. So first, I will say that the Marsham Toy Hour prediction pool did great this year. We had 42 entries. Of those entries, the average correct was 4.5. As I think as an average, we didn't do too great because there's 17 categories. Only averaging less than 5 is not that great, but we did have one single winner with 11 out of 17 correct. And she kicked butt. And her name is Jordan Perme.
Jordan! Yay!
Now, is it Jordan Perme, Jordan Perm, Jordan Perme? I feel terrible, but I don't know. Sorry, Jordan.
I don't know. We're talking about Jordan of Horrible Adorables,
Correct,
by the way, for those that don't know her last name either. And that's terrible of us, and we stink as friends. So tell us it, and then we won't fail anymore.
So I already alerted Jordan of Horrible Adorables that she won. I'm going to be sending her prize package, which, those not familiar, the prize was I'm sending her a Marsham Toy Hour and a 5 Points Festival pennant, along with the 2 5 Points Festival Dunnies I designed and the 3 Designer Toy Award Dunny series that I designed. So, yeah, it's all my stuff. That's all I have. That's all I can do. So, but no, she was happy, and she was saying, like, it's really hard to predict. It's like the Oscars. You're trying to predict not necessarily people that you think should win, but you're trying to guess how the fans are going to vote and how the panel's going to vote, and that's not easy. But her getting 11 of 17, that's really good.
Yeah. No. Now, Gary, how did all of us do?
So, we'll work our way down. So, Jordan got 11. Theresa, you did excellent too. You got 9. Really good.
Woo?
You did a little better than me. I got 8. And
you did pretty good.
And Cory knocked it out of the park with a whopping 0 correct. You got a real pulse on this designer toy scene, Cory. Good job.
I know, maybe I should find a new profession.
Now, I will say, Cory, you were not the only one who had a goose egg. You did have company. There was one other person who got a goose egg up there.
Cory. Well, the positive is you can only go up next year.
Maybe, unless it stays the same.
You gotta at least get one next year. You could do it.
You could do it. We have faith in you, Cory. So I think what we're going to do now is we're just going to rattle through the list of Designer Toy Award winners, and we'll compare them to who the prediction pool thought was going to win. And keep in mind, the prediction pool, they're not picking who they think should win. They would probably vote very differently. They're just trying to predict how the fans voted and the panel voted. 2 very different things, so no one take offense to it. It's just all funs and games. So here we go. Here's the first category. Toy of the Year Fan category. The winner was Kid Katana Skull Edition by Two Petal Rose. So congratulations on Two Petal Rose on your win. Kid Katana was predicted, had 5 votes in the prediction pool, but the predicted winner was Andrew Bell's Kill Cat with 10 votes. Theresa, why don't you mention who won Toy of the Year panel?
Okay, so Toy of the Year panel, the winner was Mr. Dobb by Takashi Murakami. Well, the prediction pool thought the Clairvoyant Dunny was going to win. It received 8 votes. Mr. Dobb only received 1 vote in the prediction pool, so that one kind of surprised everyone, I think. And that's the one that, it's the big ball head.
It's not your thing, but yeah, so that one actually had a bit of controversy behind it because a lot of people were saying that initially when it was released, it had really bad quality control. But here's the thing about the Designer Toy Awards that people probably don't factor in. Like, most people, like this is Mr. Dobb was a very highly sought after toy. It sold out. It was a spendy toy. So most people never got to see it in hand. And when people are voting for the Designer Toy Awards, they're just basically going off of photos. And it's basically the photo that whoever uploaded the photo for nomination. So that's what people are, basing it off of. I think a lot of people don't know the story that from what I know, is it sounded like Takashi Murakami, the Mr. Dobb toy, initially had atrocious quality control, so much so that they ended up remaking all the toys, and the collectors had to wait several more months to get them in hand. But I think the second run actually turned out really, really nice. So a lot of people were also disappointed that Takashi Murakami probably can care less about receiving the award.
Yeah, I mean...
But at the same time, I feel like whether he wants it or not, he is deserving of the award because he had the best toy, in people's opinions.
Right. I think the bigger issue at hand is the quality piece, because I do agree as a collector that should be taken into account if possible. That, if it may be a really good design on paper or in photos, but then in hand, if there are a lot of issues, it's going to taint the experience for you collecting it. So I wasn't aware because this isn't the piece that I particularly went after, but it's a shame that a lot of people are aware of those issues and kind of look at that and think, yeah, it was cool, but I remember all the crazy, difficult things that happened with the release. So, what do you think, Cory? I mean, do you think that quality of a piece in hand and those kind of things should be taken into account when thinking through who should get an award?
Yeah, but if they did the right thing and remade it, then I think it's fine. If they just left it as is and there was a bunch of crap pieces out there, then yeah, I can understand the argument. But if they did the right thing and remade it, I think it's fine.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and I think this is, again, why it's nice. I think that, we talked a bit about the panel who votes last time, Gary, when we had Clutter on, and how they've been trying to expand, the people who are on it. And I know there's collectors who are in it as well. And I think that's where, the collectors can help maybe voice some of that. When they're discussing and voting, they can maybe bring that up if they recall it being a big issue in the scene. So,
yeah, maybe it was something that the committee discussed, maybe.
I mean, I could see with that issue being a problem with brand of the year or something, if they made crap toys, but the toy, it shouldn't affect that.
Yeah, totally. I think one of the craziest things is Mr. Dobb only received one vote out of 42 in the prediction pool. I mean, that's crazy. That just shows you how hard it is to predict these things. It's really hard to get a read on what's going to win and how people are going to vote. So let's get moving on to the next category. The next category is Artist of the Year Fan, and the winner was Quix. And Quix also won the prediction pool with 10 votes. So congratulations to you, Quix.
Yay! I actually had the pleasure. Yes, super congrats. I had the pleasure of meeting Quix at 5 Points, and he was the sweetest person. So, Quix, you're a sweetheart. He was so nice.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of talking to him too, and yeah, he's super nice, and he has the Midas touch as well. I mean, everything he produces seems to be very popular and tends to sell out, and he's very well beloved. So, congrats, Quix.
No, he's kicking butt. I'm very happy for him.
Okay, next category, Theresa.
All right, so the next category is Artist of the Year Panel, and the winner of this one was Chino Lamb. For the prediction pool, Chino Lamb actually only got one vote. The winner from the prediction pool was Quix again. They thought that the panel would also pick Quix for Artist of the Year. Yeah. So Chino Lamb seemed to also be a surprise to a lot of people. But
except for Jordan. Jordan predicted it.
Jesus.
That's how she got 11 out of 17. Good job.
Those were maybe the two.
Yeah.
That stumped me. But yeah, I know we both collect. We have Red Hue, the cute little fish with the inner tube, but I know there's all of those. I'm totally going to fail at remembering the name, the sushi guys with the knives.
The Zoo series. I mean, he's doing great stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there's a ton of great stuff coming out of that brain of his, so I'm excited for him, and I'm also excited to see what he's going to keep making. So, okay. Congrats, Chino Lamb.
All right, let's get to the Custom of the Year categories. Custom of the Year Fan, the winner was Death Rides to War by John Paul Kaiser. And that one was also predicted to win at 26.2% of the prediction pool. Congrats, John Paul Kaiser.
Yay! JPK got love. I thought that custom piece was nasty. It was good.
It's awesome. All right, who took down panel, Theresa?
Ooh, so this one, this was controversial. Well, not so much the win, but so Custom of the Year panel was actually won by Jason Freeney for his custom Inappropriation. And you all may remember, this is actually when he took the Cause piece and did his dissected custom on top of it. There was a whole social media kind of blowout, Cause calling him out on it. I think this is great. He took it. He won it. I don't think there was anything wrong with what he was doing, and I think the panel helped support him.
Yep.
So congrats, Jason Freeney. For the prediction pool, it was semi-close. 10 people voted for Jason Freeney, but JPK, Death Rise to War, took it by 1 vote. So 11 votes went to his piece.
All right, next one is Best Media Outlet, fan voted. And the winner was the Toy Chronicle. Back-to-back years. So congratulations to the Toy Chronicle. You guys did awesome. I hate you. We're going to kick your ass next year.
I was gonna say you should have said best media outlet fan was Marsham Toy Hour. Just kidding.
We know that's not true. No, they deserve it. They really are the best media outlet out there. I mean, when they put up that app, that easy access app, that was a huge game changer, I think. And they're still the only ones out there that provide an app as far as a toy blog goes. So, and again, like they provide international coverage, daily coverage, and keep in mind, we only do this once a week. Most people, are not into listening to podcasts. I mean, especially ours. We're over an hour, sometimes an hour and a half long, and for most people, that's probably too long. So I appreciate those that do take the time to listen to us and enjoy what we're doing. But I believe that Toy Chronicle, probably should have won this category, and congrats to them. And I still hate you guys.
Yes, congrats. No, and it's hard. I mean, Gary, we've talked about it. A podcast is different, and we're not a blog. We're not trying to be a blog. I mean, I guess we could start one, but it's just a different. We have different approaches, different purposes. But from a media outlet standpoint of getting news out there, they're doing it. So huge congrats.
Does there need to be any more blogs? Like, I feel like there's enough, right?
Yeah.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
And I think what a lot of people don't think about with the podcast, we're English speaking. We have really good downloads in the States and Canada and UK. But when we get to Asia and all the other non-English speaking countries, we see a major drop off. And
right.
In the blogs you're going to get all that because as a non-English speaker, you can just go to a blog and still either use Google to translate the information or just see, images of releases. And that's something that we cannot do. So I think that's one struggle we would ever have at trying to beat a Spanky Stokes or a Toy Chronicle or any of the other toy blogs out there. We don't have the reach that they do.
Well, and on the reverse, we don't speak other languages. So I know there's plenty of artists out there that I would love to have on, but there's just that, that language barrier. And so I know, we've had Don Dadadub come on and help us a few times, but there's a lot of great artists that I would love to chat with. We just can't. So,
right. Yeah,
but we do what we can. We're still pretty cool, Gary. We're still pretty cool.
We're good. We like I said, we received a great cheer. So that'll sustain me for maybe 2 episodes, and then I'll be back in the dumpster. Okay,
great.
So, Theresa, let's get to who won Best Toy Stores. You want to do Best Toy Store Fan?
I will, but
I know you got some spite for this one.
I got a little bit of well. There's just more. I keep getting the controversial ones, Gary. But so best toy store fan, the winner was Toy Tokyo. Only 3 people voted for them in the prediction pool. The prediction pool voted for Rotofuji to win with 20 votes. If you all recall, if you have been listening, we talked about Toy Tokyo last time when we were talking about DTAs, and I just have a bone to pick just because I feel like they bought this award. Like, I don't feel like they actually earned it just simply by people wanting to vote for them because they like them. I feel like they bought their votes because they did that Instagram contest where they were giving away a gift card to their store if you voted for them. And it feels so dirty, and I just don't like it. I just don't like it one bit.
I tend to agree. What do you think, Cory? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that they needed to do it. They've been around long enough, and they do pretty good releases and stuff that they could have just won it without tarnishing it. It's like, they did steroids or something this year.
Yeah,
Well,
right. I mean,
yeah,
if you are
okay,
truly the best store, you don't need to get extra
right.
votes. I think it's totally disrespecting all the other stores in the category. I don't like that they were offering a $50 gift card to people that voted. I don't like that at all.
I mean, Corey, I mean, you own Strange Cat. Would you feel good about winning doing something like that? Like, I just don't even know how they could feel good knowing that they semi cheated to get it.
Yeah, no, like I said, you're tarnished. You don't know if you really would have won or not.
Right.
Does this taint the fan voting awards for you guys in regards to does it hurt the integrity and the clout that the awards are supposedly supposed to have?
You
Because it does for me. I've expressed it before. I've never truly liked fan voting. I've never liked the pandering. I never liked the popularity contest. Big guy versus little guy. And in this case where someone could potentially buy votes, there's nothing about fan voting I like. And I think there's a way to do it. And maybe at the end of this, we can put forth some suggestions as to how we think maybe it can be solved for.
Yeah, we can hold back because I think there's a lot of potential ways to maybe modify the way that they do stuff, because I agree. I mean, it just kind of ruins it. Like, I like the idea of fan voting, but to win it in this way, it just really, like, I wanted to just, like, I feel like I just want to shame them. Like, shame.
Shame.
What?
Shame.
Like, shame on you. Like, now every time I see it, I'm not gonna be like, oh yay, congrats. I'm gonna be like, ugh, you're dirty.
Yeah, I'm not all that familiar with Tokyo. I feel like I don't know that they carry all that many designer toys. I'm really not sure if they're a large
Right.
retailer of that sort of stuff. Yeah, in the hierarchy of designer toys, I feel like they're not in the top 5, at least for my stores.
Yeah. That's the other thing too, is I know they carry a lot of Funko, nothing wrong with that, but I think a lot of potential Funko fans who know nothing about the DTAs may have participated in that vote, so I don't know.
It's hard to say. They do have a strong following on Instagram, and like you said, a strong Funko collector base. So maybe.
It is what it is.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on. So the next category is best online toy store, voted by the fans, and the winner was My Plastic Heart. And My Plastic Heart was predicted to had 12 votes in the prediction pool, but Rotofuji was predicted to win with 17 votes. But congratulations, My Plastic Heart.
Yay.
Congrats. I figured it'd be Rotofuji or My Plastic Heart. Those guys have been around forever.
Mm-hmm.
They do a great job.
Yep.
I mean, when I started buying toys, I bought from My Plastic Heart, so I get it.
Now, you were nominated in that category as well, weren't you, Corey?
Yeah, how many prediction votes did we get?
Let me look it up.
Is it just mine? The one?
So, best toy store, 1 vote, 2.4%. Was it you, Corey?
Aww.
Did
I think it was me. Voted for myself.
You could have had one predicted correct if you went with MPH.
You're only in the online. You're not in the Toy Store category, right?
Right.
Okay, so I thought.
That's
I
a
do
tough
know,
one. I think prediction pool, Corey, I mean, don't take any offense to that, but everyone knows that, when you look at the last 7 years of the Designer Toy Awards, it's been either My Plastic Heart or Rotofuji winning it. So prediction-wise, it would be really tough to pick someone else. Even though everyone else is doing a great job.
I predicted those two also, like in my head, not an actual vote.
just can't click it. Can't click it. You're like, no, I gotta put me. I know you're working really hard to get different types of toys in stock. So, I mean, I bought pool babies from you, and obviously we can talk more about it when we talk 5 points. I kind of went crazy. Yeah, keep it coming.
You're doing a great job at bringing in the imports, Corey. Really good.
Thanks. Yeah, that's been our big focus this past year.
Yeah, you're doing a great job. And then also, you're probably the only store that I know that is doing this, but recently you started doing a payment plan option for your customers. So, they put down the initial 50% down on the purchase, and then they can decide to pay off the remainder over the next couple of weeks or several months.
Yeah, you just do a 50% deposit, and then you set up payments over 3 months if you want to do it once a week or every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks, whatever you want to do. I've been wanting to do it for a long time, but I finally found a system that is like automated. So I don't have to send people invoices. It just takes out of their account automatically.
Oh, nice.
I don't have to worry about it. It's been really good.
People have been taking advantage of that?
Yeah, I have. I had to get a couple more shelves just to put like pending orders on. So it's been really good.
Huh, cool.
Oh, good.
All right, so the next category is...
Wait, it's me. It's my turn.
Well, have at it.
So the next category is Best Non-Plastic, panel voted. And the winner for me was actually a surprise. It was Tree Fork Grow Up by Ian Zabrowski, which is Nug Life, right?
Yep.
From the prediction pool, it only got 1 vote. So was that Jordan as well?
I don't know. I don't think so.
But the winner from the prediction pool was actually your Wooper Looper Wood Push car with 9 votes. So
that's nice. But I think what that is, I think that's a lot of people realizing that I'm probably the one seeing the prediction votes, and they're like, I should probably vote Gary for this one. But no, congratulations to Ian on the win. It's a great piece, so congrats. And this is also the category, I know a couple episodes ago I was telling you I was kind of bummed that my Yeti shelf was not nominated or didn't make it as a finalist. And this would have been the category it was in, non-plastic, because it was made out of wood. And after that episode, I heard from several people, actually 2 people emailed me saying that, hey, I did nominate that Yeti shelf. So I guess it was just the committee just voted and said they didn't see it being a finalist.
Bummer.
But here's what I'm going to do. So over the next year, I'm going to make like 40 new wood toys.
Take over the whole category?
Right, exactly.
Can I
give them the best chance possible?
Can I hold you to that?
No, that's a lot of work. But I do have a lot of the designs that I've been wanting to make in wood. I haven't been in the garage for like a year and a half, but I have a lot of stuff that I'm wanting to work on. So hopefully this will be the year that I can get back in the garage and start producing wood toys again.
Woo.
All right, so the next category.
No, wait, real quick though. Do you all know what this is made out of? This tree fort? Is it just clay?
Not sure.
I just always wondered.
I know the head is one of those big Mattels.
Oh,
for
really?
models.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
You can see it now, like the ear.
Yeah. I was just curious because of all the ones in that category, it didn't scream non-plastic to me.
Mm-hmm.
Plush and wood and porcelain and all that obviously aren't plastic. And so I was just curious what it was made out of. So, but anyway, Let's go on.
The best resin category. This was voted by the panel, and the winner was Beyond the Black Sea by Greg Crayola Simpkins. And again, the prediction pool thought this would win, so they gave it 9 votes. So congrats to Greg Crayola Simpkins on his win. Theresa?
Yes. So I was trying to think of something to say, and you'll have to edit.
We don't have to talk about every single one.
Yeah. I was going to try, but then I failed. So the next category was the best soft vinyl, also panel voted, and the winner was Yushu Long by Kenneth Tang, who's Black Seed. And the prediction pool also predicted him to win with 16 votes. So, nice. Congratulations.
Congrats.
This piece was actually on display at, well, not this particular one in the picture, but one of his Yushu Longs on display at the My Plastic Heart booth. And holy crap, is that thing tall. It is massive.
Well, that was like a specially made one, right? That was like 10 stories tall. But the real one, the one that won the award, was maybe 2 or 3 stories.
There's a couple stories. I mean, but still, they're big pieces. Very cool. I actually recently picked up. He made some little finger puppets recently.
Yeah, those are
little
cool.
Mini versions. Those are super fun. So
yeah, so we're at the 30-minute mark. So let's just hurry up and go through the remainder of the list. So the winner of Best Vinyl and Plastic panel voted was Kill Cat by Andrew Bell. The predicted winner was, well, this was a really close one. This entire category was tight. So Kill Cat received 6 votes, and the winner of the prediction pool was actually Enjoy Your Stay by Course with 7 votes. So that one was really close, but congratulations to Andrew Bell on your win.
Yes, congrats. So the next was Breakthrough Artist, panel voted, and the winner was Sad Salesman.
Yay! We love Sad Salesman.
So congrats, Eric, and the prediction pool also predicted you for the wins. Very happy for you. I can't wait to see your Dunny.
Yeah.
Awesome.
He was telling me some ideas he has. I think it's going to turn out great if he can do what he wants to do.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So brand of the year panel went to Unbox Industries, and this was another close one. So Unbox in our prediction pool received 11 votes, and Instinct Toys received 13 votes.
Very close. I'm super excited. That was one of the categories that I personally would have loved to vote on as a fan. I love Unbox and what Dan is doing. I love Instinct Toys as well, but I'm very happy for them. They deserve it. So, congrats. All right, the next one was Best Miniseries, voted by panel, and the winner was Arcane Divination, the 3-inch dice series. The prediction pool heavily weighed in this direction as well. It had almost 60% of the votes. I know I was one of them who expected that to win, and it did. And it's very well deserving. Super excited for them. So congrats.
Yep. Congrats to all involved on that series. So the winner of Best Production Sculpt Panel, this went to Seriously Silly K for sculpting Scott Tolson's design of Freckle.
Yay! Good job, Silly.
We love you, Silly. Congratulations. So in the prediction pool, it was Freckle received 3 votes, and the predicted winner was to be Dead Bod Deadbeat, sculpted by George Gaspar.
Yes. Sorry, George. You're still loved. Hopefully he's on next week.
He'll be back.
He was attending us.
He'll be back next week. We got Ben of 3D Retro coming on next week, and he's good friends with Ben, so I'm sure he won't miss this one.
Yeah.
All right, next up.
All right. Next one was Best Licensed, voted by panel, and the winner was Wonder Woman by Tara McPherson. And then it also was what was predicted by the prediction pool as the winner. So congratulations. Oh, it's Tara. Did I say Tara?
It's Tara. I've been hearing Tara.
Sorry. Tara McPherson. I apologize.
You know, one thing that I love about I saw Tara a lot at the 5 Points Fest, and she's like the super famous painter and artist and everything, and yet she's a mother of 2 kids, I believe, and you just see her, running around chasing her kid in the courtyard, and then pushing the stroller. She's just a normal person like everybody else, but it's strange to see this person who's highly popular and so beloved, but also kind of just doing like normal life things.
I saw her. We were out eating by the food trucks. She was running around with her little boy, and it was so cute.
It's adorable.
So, everyone's just people.
And
yeah,
the last.
She did sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
She did a signing at our booth for 5 Points, and I was like a little bit starstruck, because it's my first time ever meeting her, but she was super nice and super down to earth, and like you said, just like a regular person. So it was awesome to meet her.
Yeah. Teresa, that was actually the category that you and I were supposed to present together at the DTAs, was for Best License.
Oh, I was supposed to present Tara's award with you?
Yep.
Bummer.
But for some reason, she didn't come up on stage and receive the award. I don't know what happened there, but a little story when I went up there. So there's no real prep for the presenters. You just kind of you show up. There's no like script or anything, and there's nothing given to you ahead of time. The script is actually on the podium when you get there. So I go through the back and I'm handed the award. And I think when I went to the podium, I believe I was actually holding the award to where the audience could actually read who the winner was. And then there's like 3 or 4 different sheets on the podium, and I'm not sure where to look and where I'm supposed to read. So like you're standing up there in front of all these watching eyes, kind of figuring all this stuff out as you go. But
Well, it's funny because I remember when, we found out they were asking if we wanted to present. I was like, sure, but like, how does this work? Like, are we told what to say? And you're like, oh yeah, they have a script. But I had no idea that it would just be like, like you just go up and do it. Like there's no prep or
right. And I think that's something that they probably fully intend to do, is give people a heads up and the scripts ahead of time. But they're running so many things, from the 5 Points Fest to Designer Toy Awards, and I think they're just juggling too many things at once. So maybe this is one area that just tends to slip. But yeah, as a presenter, I would suggest that in the future it would be nice to have a script as to what I'm supposed to read on stage, a day or 2 ahead of time, so at least I can read through it 3 or 4 times and feel more comfortable when I'm on stage. It's not easy reading something you've never seen before when you're nervous and on stage of watching eyes. I think it would run a lot more smoothly if we had this stuff ahead of time.
Right. A little prep. And I just want to say, I know James Groman, you had issues with Toy of the Year, and please don't feel bad because that was totally not your fault. He like the comedian
host
there like dropped all the cue cards, and then the slides like were on the wrong slide. It was like a cluster, and I felt so bad.
He felt
and again,
terrible.
this is why like prep is important because he was like poor guy stuck up there with like all this bad stuff going on, and it's like it's not his fault at all. So I think for sure it's a good suggestion.
I felt terrible because I didn't know how bad that really kind of affected him. The next day he told me he sort of lost some sleep about it and sort of stuff. So when he got off the stage, I know I flubbed and I've seen some others, so I was kind of rousing him, playfully rousing with him a little bit. And I feel bad that I did that now because it did seem to affect him a little bit. But these things, people, most people aren't paying attention, and then people forget, a day or two later, unless we keep talking about it like we are now.
Yeah, so maybe we shouldn't. So nothing happened.
I don't know what you're talking about. He did great. Good shot, James. All right, and that's it. That's all the winners of the DTAs and the prediction polls. So what?
You forgot one. We didn't do best non-licensed.
Oh,
throw it in there.
All right, here we go. Best non-licensed panel was The Greatest Showdown by Scott C. The Showdowns was predicted to win was not predicted to win. It received 14 votes, but the predicted winner was Deconstructed Mouse with 17 votes.
Is this one George helped with or just talked about that he really liked the card art?
George did sculpt The Greatest Showdown, so in a way he had a hand in it. Yeah.
Cool.
Congrats, George. And Scott C. So now let's get to the Designer Toy Awards. Let's talk about the event, what you guys thought, and any suggestions going forward. Because I know that Clutter and the Designer Toy Awards Committee, they're always looking for suggestions, how to make things better and improve upon it. So if you guys have any suggestions, let's just go ahead and talk about it.
Well, so obviously I missed a piece of it, but I was able to get there and kind of see the venue and feel it out. And I know last year we talked about how it's standing room only and it's loud and dark and hard to talk. And it wasn't, I don't think, as bad this year, but it was still a very similar vibe. It's basically just a room with the bar in the back and the stage up front, and there's just really standing room only. There's a few seats sprinkled throughout, but one thought I had, because I feel like so many people, they're all getting in town. It's the first time they're seeing each other. Everyone kind of wants to mingle and hang out and chat, but a lot of times I think the presenters feel like it's a bit rude because they're being talked over and they're telling the crowd, quiet
Shut
down.
the fuck up.
Like,
yeah, I heard that several times. Getting yelled at.
And so, I almost wonder if, it seems like they kind of mingle a bit. Everyone kind of drinks and mingles before they start. I almost wonder if they need to flip it. Get the awards going, roll through them, and then that way the remainder of the night is just hanging out and mingling and chatting and talking and drinking and all that. Because it seems like it's two events happening at once, and I just feel really bad because the poor DTA presenters are looking out into a crowd of just people hanging out and chatting.
Yeah, I mean, Cory, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was better than last year. Last year was so dark I couldn't see anybody. But it was also a raised stage, so I could see what was going on stage, and I could actually see more of the actual DTAs, where everything was on the floor. So I'm not very tall, so I couldn't really see much of what was going on. I think, I don't know what the situation is in Brooklyn or New York, but if they could rent a theater space or just have seating, do the DTAs, and then just do whatever afterwards, hanging out and mingle and drinking and stuff.
Right. No, I agree. I hear what you're both saying. And Cory, I'm 5'11", and don't feel bad. I mean, I had a tough time seeing the screen and all the presenters this year, and you guys both mentioned a lot of the audience isn't paying attention. I'd probably say maybe only half are actually paying attention, and the rest are mingling, walking around. And so, Cory, I think you're right. Maybe not, a theater or someplace with some sort of seating would probably help cut down on the mingling. If people could just sit for an hour and a half, and then afterwards we can drink and party and hang out all together. But yeah, maybe that's not the environment they're looking for, though. Maybe, that's too staunchy of an environment for what they're trying to do. They're trying to keep it casual and keep the drinks flowing. But I don't know.
Right. I mean, I know they're trying to keep it more casual, chill and relaxed and all that. If they really want the awards to get attention, and they should, because Clutter spends a ton of time organizing and getting them all set up. So I agree. Something, and then some way, to keep it nice and short, a specific time limit. Because Seems like they have a lot of intermissions. They had those beatboxer guys back again, which
Oh yeah, that was probably
oh
my biggest gripe was the beatboxing. I felt like it went on for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
oh my god.
Didn't they have technical difficulties? I think recall someone saying that they started the performance, but then one mic wasn't working, and so they got a little into the performance, and then they got the mic working, and then they actually started back from the beginning. But they were the same guys that did it last year.
This
Well,
thing,
and they-
pretty
sorry.
sure it was literally the exact same routine. Like,
I know
don't
I
think
heard Optimus Prime last year. Yeah.
Well, and then they had to follow up the lifetime achievement for Kirby and Whitney,
Yeah.
right.
which was
Well,
really weird.
Yeah. Well, and that's and I know we actually didn't talk about it yet, Gary. I know we were going to mention that, but I thought that was a fantastic just moment and time to really hear from them and give, present that Lifetime Achievement Award. But I don't know. It was kind of like they did that, and then they expected everyone to just bounce back in to the event. But it was a very touching moment. And so, yeah, it was hard. I don't know, too, when we want to talk about Whitney, Gary, if we want to talk about that and interject it somewhere else or what, but...
Yeah. Okay, so I should probably clear this up for the listeners. So anyone who's not familiar, about halfway through the Designer Toy Awards, there was a brief moment where they awarded the award for honoring or paying tribute to a Lifetime Achievement Award, which was given to Kirby and Whitney Kerr of Road to Fuji. That's a store that's been running out of Chicago for the past 14 years. Very integral role in the designer toy scene. So very important store, very important and beloved people. And so they did a video presentation accepting that award. And what a lot of people in the room maybe not have been aware of is Whitney Kerr has been battling cancer for a while now, and it was all through her body. And unfortunately, her situation was terminal. So to see her on the video, it was a very touching and very emotional moment for many in the room. And it was a really great tribute and a celebration of her life. And what a lot of us didn't know is we thought maybe she had several weeks or a few months left, but unfortunately Whitney did end up passing due to cancer last Tuesday, and she was only 44, a beautiful and wonderful person. And Whitney was one of the backbones of our designer toy community, and her presence will definitely be missed and felt.
Totally agree. I'm all sad now. I need.
And that's exactly what happened. I don't know how you recover from
Right.
something like that. It's tough because it was such a beautiful and sentimental moment, and it really packed an emotional punch. And then just to kind of just recover from that and roll right back into the awards again. And not only was it just Whitney, but there was another fellow who passed away recently in the designer toy community. His name was Matt Siegelbaum, and again he passed away to cancer too. And so they paid tribute and had some people that knew him come up and honor him. And so yeah, there was some somber moments that it was tough to maybe move on from for a lot of us. And but we did. And I guess one suggestion that I would have, keep the video presentations for like the Hall of Famers that can't make it, but maybe for the the main categories. I noticed that the video presentations either tend to go long, or maybe sometimes technical difficulties tend to happen. So my suggestion would be maybe get rid of the video presentations and just find someone who's going to be at the event and just have them accept it on your behalf. I think that would help speed things up a little bit. Because, this event ran almost 3 hours long, and people drinking and standing only. People start getting antsy, and I saw several people leaving early. And I don't want to see that happen. I want the awards to be celebrated and be amazed and everyone be paying attention. And, like you said, Clutter does a lot of working for this. So I really want it to, be as wonderful as an event and evening as it possibly can.
Yeah. No.
And then kind of going back and talking about the video presentations, I think a lot of people who haven't been nominated probably don't understand how it works. Is if you can't attend the event, everyone is asked to create a presentation video and then send it into Clutter, and if you win, it'll go up. But it's a lot of videos to be made for people that may not win, and it's probably a lot of handling on Clutter's part too. So I think just getting rid of video presentations would make it easier on not only the nominees but also Clutter.
I agree too, and I know it's hard too. As like you may have had to do it, Gary, where you're asked to record a video and you don't even know if you've won, so you may not even have a very genuine recording,
Yeah.
because you're like, thanks for picking me, even though you have no idea if you're going to be picked. So I agree with that too. I think it would save clutter time in collecting it. It'd save the nominees from having to make it, and it would speed up the award ceremony too. So
Yeah, and some people receive multiple, nominations in several categories. So, do they have to make a different video or 5, 6 videos for everything, and or do they make one kind of generic, universal acceptance video that might be played 4 or 5 times throughout the evening?
right.
So, it's weird. Another suggestion I would have is get rid of the fan voting. I mean, not the still allow fans to vote, but just get rid of the double awards and just somehow figure out a way for fans to vote on every category, like
Well,
maybe a percentage of the voting public,
yeah.
like they get a 5 or 10% of the vote for panel voting or something like that. I just we don't need two repeat categories. We don't need two toy of the years. We don't need two artists of the years and that sort of stuff. And that might help reduce the length of the time too if there's only 14 categories.
I agree. Like finding a way for fans to be able to vote, the panel to vote, and somehow merge those together into a winner. So fans have a say, but it's not like there's fan vote only categories and duplicates of some
That's what I'm
categories where it's
saying.
both things.
We don't
Yeah.
need Toy of the Year fan and panel. I think we could figure out a way to just make one Toy of the Year, one Artist of the Year, and then, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they could do that. If there's 10 people on the panel, you could just make all of the fan vote count for one vote on the panel. That
Yeah.
way the fans have a
Something
little
like
bit of
that.
a say.
Brilliant. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
Yeah. And I totally also as a fan, there are certain categories that I'm sad that I can't vote in some way. So I would love the ability for fans to submit across all categories and have a say in each of them.
If they did the way that you're talking about, Corey, where the winner of the fan voted gets one vote in the committee panel, then the fans can have a say in every single category. I really like that.
I dig
Just
it.
came to me.
You're a
Let's do
genius,
it.
Corey.
Thank you.
And that way, the Toy Tokyos of the world aren't going to have a runaway. I mean, I don't know. Do you guys think that Clutter? I mean, because I know Clutter was aware that Toy Tokyo was doing
Well,
that whole thing. Like, it's not their responsibility to police this stuff and disqualify
uh,
people on this sort of stuff, is it?
I disagree because I think by them saying, we saw it, but whatever, it's gonna make it worse because then people will be like, all right, I was cool with doing that, so I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna do that. Like I feel like it could spread and become even worse and just become I don't know.
Well,
I personally would have rather them say, that's not cool, you're disqualified.
they should have just put, you've been nominated, you can't do this, for everybody
Or
that's
rules.
nominated.
Yeah, or rules that say like you can't run contests to win votes or just I don't know. And maybe they don't care. Maybe I'm just being whatever, but
It just sucks that they ended up winning. Like, it was a little bit of controversy going into it because they were doing it, and then here it is. They
right,
ended up winning, and it's like,
right,
now to all of us, it just doesn't seem legit.
right, exactly. And I would have much rather it be just a left field win. Like everyone's on an even playing field, and if they come in and win, huge props, great win. But their win now to me isn't seen in that way. I see it as, oh, you bought your vote. It's I don't like it.
Right. No, I hear you. I do want to say, like, Clutter, like, thank you very much for doing this event. I know it's a lot of work, a lot of effort, and I know if you're listening to this podcast, it's easier to hear only the negative comments versus the great things we've said about the event. I want you to ensure that that we love the event, we love you for doing it. We think there's definite value in the event and the awards and all that sort of stuff. So, what we're saying is just constructive criticism. We're just talking things out. So please don't take any of our negative comments wrong. There's plenty of positives and great stuff going on. So yeah, love you guys for doing what you do.
Yes,
Good work.
for sure. We like to just discuss. We're just
We like to discuss, but I know it's one of those things, like, how it is. You pick up on the one negative and you fixate on that versus the 100 compliments you get. So
Yes.
and on that note, let's take a brief moment and honor and give some positive feedback for our great sponsors of the show. So
Yeah.
for all your designer toy needs, wants, and desires, two great stores for you. There's 3dretro.com. They also have a beautiful brick and mortar location out there in Burbank adjacent California. So if you're in the area, be sure to check that out. And joining us tonight, as you know, is Strange Cat Toys. If you go to strangecattoys.com, use promo code SoTheresa at checkout, all one word, you will receive 10% off your entire order. And as mentioned earlier, they also have that great new credit plan that you can lay away your items and pay it over the next few weeks or several months. And then for all your daily designer toy news, be sure to like and follow SpankyStokes.com and thetoychronicle.com. And be sure to download the Toy Chronicles easy-to-use app at any one of your favorite application stores. All right, let's get on to 5 Points Fest. So this year it was held in Brooklyn, New York, versus last year it was held in Manhattan. So it was at an all-new venue this year. It was at the Brooklyn Expo Center. And what'd you guys... Actually, before we get to that real quick, Cory, I have a beef to pick with you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is coming.
I don't even know what this
You don't even know what I'm talking about,
it?
Teresa?
I don't know yet.
Okay, so we go to Cory's booth, and Cory's like, hey, or Strange Cat's booth, and Cory's like, hey, you guys, free tattoos, you want a tattoo? I'm like, yeah, there's a horrible, adorable tattoo, sweet. Okay, so the next day I apply this thing to my arm, and what a bitch to get off. I mean, the thing turned into the most gross, sticky, ugly thing like on day 2. I think it was because I had it under my sleeve, so I started picking up all the lint from my shirt, and then it just turned into like this black mess. But you couldn't wash it off. You had to use like full on like rubbing alcohol. But Cory, it took me about 45 minutes to get off, and it was pulling on my arm hair. I'm pretty sure I'm never gonna grow arm hair again on that spot.
Well, I mean, you can blame Jordan and Chris a little bit, because I asked them if they wanted me to make them a tattoo, and they said yes, please. So, had that horrible Adorables one not been there, it might not have happened.
At least I put it on my arm. I saw a lot of people wearing that stuff on their neck, and I don't know, maybe next year don't do tattoos.
No, more tattoos. We're doing one with you, right?
No.
Marsham tattoo?
No.
Maybe Cory didn't realize he picked not a temporary tattoo, but like a semi-permanent tattoo.
It was I'm telling you, it was so sticky. It was so gross after a couple of days. It was nasty. But anyways, I just want to bust your balls on that, Cory. So thanks for that little bit of a mess.
You're
and
welcome.
Maybe that's why it was free.
Yep.
Oh, goodness. It's funny. I picked them up and I forgot to put one on. So maybe it was for the best.
Oh, no, it's for the best. If there's someone that you really dislike, go ahead and pass it along to them. That'll give them some payback. But no. So let's get to the event. So Brooklyn versus Manhattan. What'd you guys think? I loved it being in Brooklyn this year. Cory?
Oh, yep. Sorry. Yeah, I thought it was way better. I hated Manhattan and Chinatown. Like, I am not a fan. It smells like pee. There's people yelling. There's trash everywhere. But Brooklyn was super nice. It was not busy. Everything was super close this year. All the after parties and the DTAs, and the event space was much smaller and seemed a lot more intimate, even though it was busy and packed. Totally I liked it a lot.
Let's paint a picture for the listeners. So it was held at the Brooklyn Expo Center, and it was really right in the middle of a neighborhood. So you had this really neighborhoody feel surrounding the entire event. Directly across the street from the venue, like 15 feet from the door, was this great little park. So if you have kids or family, all the kids go out and play on the playground. They had a splash pad and everything. And then just maybe a block down the road was the East River. So Theresa and I, we walked the East River in and back, and it was awesome. Really, it's really great location. Really chill, really relaxed, like the complete opposite of what Manhattan was. Tons of food, and all the venues and stuff are just, maybe a block or two. I know Brooklyn Bazaar was just a couple blocks away, and then the after party was another few blocks away. It was all in one area, really chill. And the venue itself, so it was all huge windows surrounding the entire place, so you didn't have that life-sucking con lighting that most convention centers had. Like, we had beautiful natural light filling the entire convention hall, and you can feel it. It really felt different in there. I really liked it.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I've been to New York many times, but only to Manhattan, and I had never made it over to Brooklyn. So this is my first time, and honestly, I was unsure. It's like, I don't know what it's going to be like, but I really, really enjoyed it. I mean, it was definitely quieter, less busy. I get it now. I remember last year, everyone's like, oh, Manhattan, I don't want to go to Times Square. I don't want to do this. And I was like, come on, you all. It's not that bad. But like after being in Brooklyn and understanding what they mean, I get it, because Manhattan is a lot busier and touristy and all of that. And Brooklyn did feel a lot more chill and relaxed. And so I agree. I really liked being near the river as well. It was so pretty to walk down, and there were actual parks, like green spaces and like little, kind of almost like a little beach you could walk on. And it was really, really nice. So I was excited to finally see Brooklyn. I get it now. So I think it was a good move, and I hope that they continue to stay there and use the same venues. So
I hate Manhattan now. I don't want to go back to Manhattan. Brooklyn was so nice. No, we did go across the river, and we went and saw My Plastic Heart and went back. But when we went over, there's a different atmosphere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the positive though, I think that's what's nice about Brooklyn is you're really close to the Williamsburg Bridge, and you can just take that straight over to Lower Manhattan. So Lower Manhattan is not that far away, and that's where My Plastic Heart and Toy Tokyo are situated. So like if you wanted to hop over and go check out those stores or hang out a bit, there's a lot of different street art and murals and stuff. You could totally do it, and it's not even that far. So that was nice too. So we were able to get over there and see a little bit of Manhattan. But it's true, we got over there and it was kind of like, oh, maybe we should have done this. Maybe we should go back.
Cory, you actually vended this year. How was it as a vendor?
Oh, it was very good. It was our first time ever vending outside of Florida for any convention, and it was the best convention we've ever done. We had a bunch of exclusives, and we sold out of all of them. And
great. Wow.
I got to meet a lot of like regular customers that buy from us, so it's always good, to put a face with the name.
Now, I've heard some people complaining, it doesn't need to be 2 days. As a vendor, what do you think?
It has to be 2 days. Like, I can't imagine doing all that work and just having it one day and then break it down. And then our second day, Sunday we didn't sell as much, but I think it's because we sold so much, but we still sold quite a bit on Sunday. So no, 2 days for sure.
And did you feel, I had heard too that, Saturday was pretty busy, but Sunday was more chill. And I definitely felt that walking around, which I didn't mind. I like kind of a day where it's, Saturday's the crazy and Sunday's a little more relaxed and kind of just hang out and talk to people. But did you feel that too, that Saturday was more of the hustle and bustle and Sunday was a little bit more chill and relaxed?
Yeah, and I mean, I like that. I needed a little bit of a break, and it gave me the chance to do like a quick run around and say hi to everybody. So yeah, I like that.
Cool.
I do believe it needs to be 2 days, because the first day as a collector, you're running around, you're acquiring all your goods, and they changed the times this year. So it opened at 10 a.m. for the VIPs and to the general public at 11 a.m., and then it closed at 6 p.m. So I think it was reduced by almost 2 hours on Saturday, and then Sunday it was from, I think it was from 11 to, again, 5 on Sunday. And so that second day, it's really nice to have that second day to just kind of go in and then just be able to peruse things a little better. I know this on Sunday, Theresa and I spent more time looking at the convention as a whole. We spent a lot more time talking to people. And for me, this convention really has the feel of what Designer Con had before it absolutely blew up. I mean, it's a smaller convention, but it just felt so intimate and neighborly and friendly. And I don't know, I don't want to compare the two conventions, but it really did feel like, Designer Con probably 6 or 8 years ago, when it was a lot smaller and easier to manage.
Yeah. And, 5 Points is smaller. It's a smaller show. So, I mean, if I weren't so, sporadic in the way I perused the show Saturday, I could have walked the floor easily. It's just the way, when you're in the moment and you're shopping and going and you see people and you say hi, you end up kind of just darting around. Mm-hmm. But, the floor itself, it's not like the venue. Like, Decon, I don't think we tried, but I don't think we ever got to a point where we could walk the whole thing. You just end up, it's so big. So 5 Points is much easier to see the show, but then you have time. You have time to go wait in that line for a signing or go talk to this person for an hour that you haven't seen in forever. And you don't, at Decon, I feel like I'd pass people and be like, hey, I got to go though, because I got to go see this. Or,
right, it's more
hey,
relaxed.
I have to go. Right, yeah. And I really, really like that. I like that I had time to hang out.
Yeah, I don't ever think I ever felt rushed. I think the 2 days I had more than enough time to talk to who I needed to, see what I needed to. It had really nice bathrooms. By far, for me, this was by far the best venue I've done a lot of comic conventions and the toy conventions, and this was the best venue I've ever experienced with all the natural light and the wood flooring and, again, amazing bathrooms, individual stalls, floor to ceiling walls. You know, you were in there by yourself. There was a guy in there. You know, he was there to give you cologne if you needed it or helps you out with the paper towels. And he would keep the stalls clean and all that sort of stuff. I really like that. The food truck area, the outdoor courtyard area was fantastic with the beer garden and the food trucks and just being able to pop out there and eat our food. The one negative, this is not a negative now, but from what I saw is we filled up that convention hall. It doesn't seem like there's really any area for growth in that venue.
Yep.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Unless they move some stuff outside to the courtyard area.
Yeah. I was gonna say the only thing, like, I really liked the courtyard. There was definitely a lot more room. Like at the Manhattan venue, it was pretty much just room for food trucks and some picnic tables, and that was about it. The only thing I would say is there was a lot of open space and a lot more room for tables. And I would have liked to see more tables, more seating, because they had some of those tall tables you could stand at, and then a few picnic tables, and then all this open space, and it filled up really quick, places where people could sit.
Yeah.
So I would have liked to see a lot more picnic tables or what have you, because there's plenty of space for it. So that is one small thing that I think would be a nice addition, if they're not going to fill it with other booths or vendors or anything like that.
Yeah. Now, I absolutely love the venue this year, and I hope it stays the same for the next few years, but I imagine as they grow, I mean, do you guys think that they're just going to outgrow the space and we're just going to have to find another venue in a few years?
Well, and I think it depends, because right now they're still maintaining the toy comic mix. So they've got, it felt like, I would say, 2/3 toys, and then 1/3 was sort of the artist alley comic stuff. So I think it depends, like if they're going to keep with that split, or if over time they'll go full toy or what, because that could affect how they use the space.
I gotta admit, I know there was a comic presence. Like, we sat across the table from people who were only comic collectors and they bought the VIP pass and they had no idea what designer toys were. But I didn't really see that much of a comic book presence there that would have interested them enough. Did you?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we asked them, because I when we were sitting down to eat, I remember asking them, like, hey, are you enjoying it? And they seemed to feel like there was a decent amount. But I agree. I mean, the comics were really only in the artist alley section. And I know for me personally, that was one of those sections that I walked through, but pretty quickly. So I don't know if that's where they focused. But it is funny when you think about them paying, the $140 ticket for VIP. And we've got all these comic people sitting with these sought after mollies and have no idea. I was like, what if they just toss that in the trash?
They had, like, the one guy pulls out of his bag, Cory, and he's got the Instinct Toy 5 Points VIP molly stuffed inside the glass, and they can care less for this toy. They have no idea what it is. I have a feeling like Theresa, I can see you itching almost to ask, like, do you want that? Do you guys
yeah.
Because they don't know what it is, and for
Right.
a lot of people, that's a highly sought after toy. And, they're going to go home and probably either throw it away or just maybe just
Throw it in a drawer.
Yeah, maybe they got home and they researched it on eBay and realized, what they had. But it was funny, kind of watching Teresa's face. Just she goes, these guys don't know what they have.
Oh my gosh! I was just like, oh my god, there's three comic guys, all with these mollies out, talking comics. I was like, they don't know what that is. I'll just take that. Like, I'll take those. Not even for me necessarily, but like, I know there's people who didn't do VIP that would want it. It's like, I don't want that to go in the trash or go to Goodwill. Like, that's worth something.
If I walked into a Goodwill and I saw that sitting on the shelf, I got it for like, you get it for like $1 at Goodwill.
Right? That'd be nuts. It's intriguing. I don't know. I don't mind the split. I'm just curious to see if they'll maintain that, if they'll continue to kind of try to keep it as a both art and comic.
I think it'll probably fall off And I think I heard something about them cutting the sizes of the artist tables down from 10-foot tables or maybe 8-foot tables down to like 6, which makes a lot more sense.
Oh, okay, so maybe more space for toy booths next year.
Yeah. I will say, I thought they did a way better job with the VIP package this year.
Yes, I will second that. Since I've done VIP both years, I know last year I talked about the grab bag or whatever they call it and how it was just filled with not junk, but like backstock type stuff.
Yeah.
So this year it definitely felt more tailored. And, the fact that they got Instinct Toy to partner was super cool.
Mm-hmm.
And even like the custom glass and all of that, it was definitely a more quality VIP bag, I thought. So I agree.
Now, Cory, did you get to leave the booth much? Did you do any shopping around, or did you mainly get stuck behind the booth?
Well, I split my booth with Gallery F. So, yeah, like if I needed to take a pee break or if I wanted to go buy something real quick, I was able to, especially on Sunday.
Now, you said all your exclusives sold out at the event. I mean, did that sell out during the VIP period, or is that just like a slow sell throughout the entire weekend?
So the Astro Crash sold out within 20 minutes of VIP.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And then the Wetworks went pretty quick through VIP, and then one hung out until the end of Sunday, and then Bluefist kind of trickled throughout, and then the Skullflowers kind of trickled over the weekend.
Awesome. Sounds like you had a great event.
Yeah, it was really good.
I heard that from a lot of people. I talked to some of the people that vended there last year, and they were saying that they made on Saturday what they made over the course of 2 days last year. So I think the attendance was great, and a lot of collectors came out and spent money. So that's good.
Good.
Now, Theresa, you're a pretty big collector. I know, like the 2 weeks leading up to the event, you were on top of all the news, looking for all the releases, and I know it was kind of annoying you that most of your favorite artists had not released what they're going to have there yet. And I remember one night, I'm 3 hours behind you, so you were texting me at like midnight, so it was 3 a.m. your time, and you had to work the next day, but you're up until 3 a.m. checking out all the booths on the exhibitor website, and so you were really well on top of things, and I know your list was really large. I never found it, did you end up getting everything that you were hoping to get?
Yes.
And more.
And more. Oh, God, and more. So much more. No, I think I feel like I've gone to enough of these now that I've got a pretty good feel of which booths are going to be more popular than others, so I can kind of prioritize.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of what was on my list is what happens is you get familiar with certain companies or booths, and you'll know they'll have good stuff potentially, but they never actually post it. So I'll have them down, and I'll have like a list of like, oh, they might have this or this or this. I had a handful of booths on my list that were like that, where I'd pop by and I saw, and I was like, okay, they don't have any that I'm really after, so I'd move on. But overall, I mean, for me as a collector, I was very happy. I came back with way too much stuff. I think I even probably had a bad influence on you, Gary, because you bought way more than I expected.
I bought more than I anticipated too, and there's some great little like surprise finds. I know. So one was like we discovered Zaza toys there at the event, and that was a great discovery. And Keith, the owner of Zaza Toys, I mean, what a nice guy. He was actually staying at our hotel too, and we talked at the hotel for a little bit. But super friendly guy. But the toys and the platform, he had this little bear platform. It was called T-Bear. That looked really cool, and I ended up picking up. I can't think of the name of the toys, but they're like little interchangeable toys, and you got to select which 2 toys to buy, and one was like a 4-inch vinyl toy, and it came with a little mini toy, but for $20 2 came in the pack, and I saw a lot of people walking around with Zaza toys at the event.
We're actually going to start carrying those soon.
Oh yeah,
I was talking.
Oh,
yeah.
Yay.
Cool.
So coming soon.
I was going to say, Keith was fantastic. He was so nice. And there surprises. I mean, I know both of us, we were after Seedless for My Plastic Heart. We were happy to pick that up. That is a fantastic toy. And then obviously, I've talked about it before, I absolutely love Chris and Amanda's work, so they were on my list. And then, of course, so Cory, you were bringing Pucky Pool Babies, and I was trying to be so good. So when those went up for pre-order on your site, I just bought a couple blind boxes. I'm like, I like them all. I don't need a couple. I don't care which ones I pull. No biggie. And then, of course, I was like, oh, man, maybe I want more. I opened them, and I was like, darn, this isn't enough. And so you had told me you were bringing 2 cases. I was like, try to leave one untouched for me. And so day 2, beginning of the day 2, you put it out. We came there first thing. And I was like, all right, I'm going to open one and see what I get. And then I'm going to open another and see what I get. And then Gary's standing there. And lo and behold, I ended up opening that whole freaking case for myself. But
I took a few off your hands.
You did, and honestly, I don't regret it one bit because I love them so much. So, like, there's stuff like that happens, but thank you, Cory, for holding that aside and letting me attack the case.
Oh, you're welcome. I brought that extra case just for you.
Now, there was an after party after the event on Saturday night, but we did not end up making it. We had full intentions of going right after the event, but we got a little sidetracked. As we left the event, Andrew Bell had invited us over at his place, his and his fiancee Becky's place, and they were extremely gracious hosts. And when we got there, it was exactly the kind of evening we were wanting. It was, we sat outside on his deck. He has this beautiful rooftop, open-air deck that's he's right on the edge of the East River, so you can overlook the East River into Manhattan. It was a beautiful evening that night, and they ordered some beers and picked up pizzas, and we ate salads and just hung out. And it just got to a point where we just didn't want to leave. We were just hanging out with good company. And for me, it was definitely one of the highlights and most memorable moments of the event. But actually, Theresa, that as I'm looking at the time that we're recording right now on Saturday, that's exactly where we were a week ago right now.
That's crazy. That feels like forever ago.
I know, it feels too long ago. But, I mean, thank you to Andrew Bell and Becky. You guys were incredible hosts. So thank you so much for inviting us. And let's do it next year if you'll have us. But I felt bad that we didn't make it to the after party because I know we posted on Instagram that, hey, see you there. But Cory, I know you ended up going. So how was the event?
Yeah, eventually after. So Travis, Josh, and I wanted to go to the after party, right? And the 5 Points posted it on Instagram and they put the address and everything. But us being idiots, just Googled Threes Brewing, and little did we know that there's several. So we ended up taking Uber to Manhattan, and we get inside, and we're like, I don't see anybody we know. And I'm texting Sarah. She's like, where are you? I'm like, where are you? We're here. And then I was like, uh-oh, we're in the wrong place.
No.
Yeah, and then so Travis put in the address for Threes Brewing, but there's also 2 of those same addresses with the same street number, so we ended up in a different place, I think close to Queens. So, after 3 Ubers and like almost 2 hours, we finally ended up there, which I think it was starting to wrap up. But
that's the best story.
It was nice. We hung out with Casey Terra Rouge. How do you pronounce her name? She told me like 1,000 times, can't remember, but One-Eyed Girl. So it was a fun time. Yeah. It just came to me. Tadadaway. That's how you pronounce Casey's last name. You'd never guess.
Tadadaway?
Tadadaway.
I had no idea.
Yep.
But no, what's crazy is she spells that Tararuj.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, You can edit that, Gary, but that's crazy that's Tadadaway. So what was the venue like? Since Gary and I didn't actually make it over, I mean, did it seem nice?
Yeah, it was just it was a nice bar in Brooklyn. It was literally like maybe 3 blocks away from the event. Like we could have just walked there. I don't know why we thought we'd Uber. But no, it was just a bar, and it looked like they rented out like an area in the back, and I hung out with Kyle and Sarah for a little while. It was a really nice bar.
Nice. Now, I know one concern that we had before going, and I think maybe the one reason we ended up staying where we did is we didn't know kind of what it was like. And I guess we could have asked Sarah and the people who actually were there, but we were afraid that maybe it was like a normal bar setting where it's really loud music and you can't really talk to each other and you have to yell and stuff like that. But as we were walking back to the hotel from leaving Andrews, we ran into a couple of people and they were saying that, it was exactly what they had hoped for. It was real chill, real low key, and real easy to talk. So was that your experience as well?
Yeah, it was very laid back. Definitely everybody like taking a break from all that work they've been doing.
Oh, that's good. Because I know that's one thing I've heard too, that you got the DTAs and you got these events. And so you've been busy, 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 crazy, crazy, crazy. And so many people, I think, on that Saturday night just want to chill. Like, they just want to relax and take a break and hang out and sit and not have to do another loud, crazy gathering. But I'm glad to hear that it was more of a relaxed venue. Hopefully next year we'll actually make it there, Gary. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, we should try. We should definitely make an attempt. But it was just so nice on that rooftop and the gorgeous weather and amazing company. And not to name drop, but it's just people that we hang out with at the convention hall. But when you're there, you're just kind of just talking about toys and stuff. So Horrible Adorables and Chris Reineck and Amanda Louise Spade and Andrew Bell and his fiancee Becky and Scribbles Inc. And then a little later showed Vin of My Plastic Heart and then Jack of Vinyl Pulse. And it was just a fun, chill evening, talking more intimately and more. It's just like when you go to like an after party, you feel like you have to be on and still like it's just so at the rooftop we were just relaxed in ourselves and just talking about personal things and that's what I really enjoyed about that evening. Just talking to people that don't normally get to talk to on a totally different level.
Right. Well, for me personally, as a collector, I felt very honored to be included. I know I'm a part of this podcast and all of that, and it's different. Just a year ago, I met you.
Yeah, so happy anniversary, Theresa, because I know a year ago we met at 5 Points, and now you've actually been doing the podcast for a year now. So happy anniversary.
Thank you. That's kind of crazy. I mean, yeah, last year I was not just me. I'm still me, but yeah, it's crazy how much can change.
Is it weird walking 5 Points this year as opposed to last year? I mean, I know a lot more people recognize you, and you're talking to a lot of people, and you're hanging out with, people that you collect and all that sort of stuff. Like, what's the difference?
Yeah, I mean, it's not weird, but it is definitely different because before it was just like me as a collector and just awkwardly meeting people for the first time, so like I was that sort of starstruck collector of meeting all these great artists and people that I hadn't met before. And it's not that it's not great to still see them, but now it's like they're my friends. Like I'm just going around and hanging out and saying hi, and it's very cool and very different. And then on the flip side, through the podcast and stuff, now I have people tapping my shoulder and being like, oh my gosh, are you Theresa from Marsham? Like, I love listening to you. And so it's very cool in that perspective too, to have people recognize me now, which before it's like I was just walking the floor, no one knew me. I'm going around trying to meet people, and now I've got people knowing my name, and I can walk up to James Groman's booth and he's like, hey Theresa. It's just like, what?
Yeah.
So I love it. It's great.
I know, but at the same time, you sort of mentioned like that night we were on the rooftop hanging out with everybody. Like you're like, Gary, this feels really strange. Like I don't know if I'm supposed to be here. I'm a collector of these people that we're hanging out with.
I know, yeah. It's still that like I definitely have gotten more comfortable on the floor, but yeah, when you're invited to something like that, it's like, is it okay? Because like I'm a collector. Like, do they want a break from me? Mm-hmm. Like, do they want to have their own little vendor kind of hangout? So I was very honored to be included and to be a part of that. And I agree, it was a very cool setting. It was super relaxing. It was very fun to hang out with people in that way and chat and all that kind of stuff. So
you're one of us now, Theresa.
I guess one of us.
Now you just need your own Dunny.
Why not?
Hey, that would be very cool.
But that's one thing I really love about this community is, most of the artists are super cool to the collectors and actually take the time to talk to the collectors. And, I think in a lot of other scenarios, if you're a fan of a rock band or a movie star, you don't get to walk up to them and necessarily carry that conversation. But in the designer toy scene, for the most part, you can strike up a conversation in a long conversation and actually become good friends with people that you're fans of. I think that's one thing I really love about this community.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And it's funny because even like you, like before I knew you, I was like, oh my God, it's Gary Ham. Like,
well, keep going. Don't stop.
Right? Oh gosh.
And now you're like, it's Gary. Ugh, annoying.
Well, but it's just funny how over time the relationship and opinion you have of people changes. It's not like I still respect you as an artist and love your work, but it's just the way You know what I mean? Like the way
Yeah.
I know you, and it's different. Like I don't look to you with like these like stars in my eyes of like, oh my God, it's him. Now I'm just like, oh, Gary Ham, shut up. Like,
They're like, Gary, shut up. You're just gonna burp in front of me. Whatever. You don't care anymore.
right. I'm just, yeah, it's just funny. It's fun to see how things evolve over time. And I'm sure I'm not the first one to go through that. You know, I know there's other people who have been in the scene longer than me who have been collecting and probably getting to know different vendors and artists too. So
Well, that's what happened
it's
with
just
Scott Cattler. The same thing he was talking about when he was coming on. He was a
right.
collector and a fan, and next thing you know, he's making connections and good friendships with people in the toy scene that he's a fan of. So it happens. And Teresa, as far as the podcast, I mean, thanks you for hanging in there the past year,
Yeah.
and you and I have become great friends, and I couldn't ask for a better toy partner in doing these events with. So you're a lot of fun, and I look forward to doing future events with you.
Oh, thanks, Gary. Yes. To this next year. Let's see what it shall bring. But I think the main thing too is just as the collectors out there, go to these events. They're great. They're super fun. This is kind of your chance to hang out and talk to people, and don't be afraid to walk up and say hi. I mean, I have yet to have really an experience where I'm like, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have gone and talked to that person. Like everyone is always super, super nice. So
Mm-hmm.
do it. Get out there.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have been waiting on 5 points. Is it let it grow some legs first and let's see. But I can say it's for me, it's right up there with Designer Con. I know it's smaller, but it's more intimate and just in the new venue in Brooklyn and everything. I can't suggest it more. I think it truly is a great event, and if you can make it next year, definitely do what you have to do to try to make it out there.
Yeah, and I agree. If you're looking for something more intimate and small and a chance to really talk and hang out, 5 Points will definitely give you that. I mean, Decon definitely has that, but it's so big that there's so much more to see. And I think you end up spending a lot more time walking the floor. And you can still hang out and stuff, but there's definitely plenty of time for that at
Yeah.
5 Points.
And speaking of Designer Con, I mean, they're making the change from Pasadena to Anaheim this year. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the atmosphere change is going to feel like, because it's going to be across the street from Disneyland, very touristy area. We're going to lose that great neighborhood and mom and pop feel that Pasadena had, and I think that's what we're getting from 5 Points. So it'll be different to see what Designer Con is like this year. And actually coming up next week, Ben Goretzky, the man who's behind the brains behind Designer Con, he will be joining us next week, and we're going to find out everything that's going on with Designer Con and everything that's cooking. So we'll be back next week with Ben.
Woohoo! I can't wait.
Oh, I know you're excited about that. He's going to drop some. He told us some things at 5 Points, and I'm super excited for what's going to be happening at our Designer Con next year.
Wait, what did he tell us at 5 Points?
Well, I don't think it's stuff I can say on air, Teresa.
See, so I'm
Secrets.
saying there's all these secrets, Cory, and it's driving me bananas.
It's not secrets necessarily. It's just stuff that he just can't. He's kind of waiting to share either on the episode or stuff that he can't share publicly yet. But I promise you, he'll divulge some stuff on next week's episode. And then Teresa, what he can't say publicly, I'm sure he'll tell us off air. So
You're gonna be right. Have to be prepared for some squeeze because I have a feeling. It's gonna
that's
happen.
one reason I've been keeping this all from you, because I want your genuine squee reaction next week. So
Have the earplugs at the ready.
Cory, I know you have to leave. You got the 10-month-old there and the family and everything. So I want to thank you for joining. I know you didn't get to talk too much this week, but we'll have you back to where we can talk to you a little bit more.
Yeah, no, thank you. It was awesome to finally be on the show. I love your guys' show. I listen to it every week religiously, so keep it up.
Thanks. You want
Aw.
to do your own
Cory.
sponsorship this week?
Sure, head over to strangecattoys.com and you can use the code SOTERESA, one word, for 10% off your order. And we now offer flexible payment plans.
How often is that So Teresa code used? I want to know, all those people that have chosen not to sponsor us so far, tell them all the thousands of dollars they're missing out on.
The tens of thousands.
That's what I thought.
Seriously?
Yeah, sure.
No, but it's more than enough. He's told me like he's received more than enough to cover the minimal fee that we charge to sponsor our wonderful show. right?
Oh, yeah,
Cory?
definitely. Yeah, it's definitely gone up and up and up, especially since we changed it to So Teresa. So maybe we'll keep it at that for a while.
Do you know how crazy it is? How much that, not that, I mean, I don't say it's catching on. Like, people who have to kind of listen to the show have to know it. But like, Toy Chronicle has started to use the hashtag Teresa Cute, and a lot of people will comment, that's so Teresa. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. So thank you, everyone, for making me feel so special.
I know you got your own promo code now. Everything's working out for you.
It's crazy. But I do appreciate you coming on, Cory. We'll definitely get you back on, talk more Strange Cat toys and other cool stuff.
All right, awesome. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Bye, Cory. And I guess, Teresa, why don't you let people know where they can find you?
Yeah, sure. Oh, he full on left. Oh, that's great. I didn't know he was going to full on drop.
Yeah,
but
it happens.
You can say bye.
It happens.
Oh, bye, Cory. But yeah, if people want to find me, they can check me out on Instagram. My username is tmhawk24.
And I'm Gary Ham. Wait, hold on. Someone's coming in. Oh, hey, Lucas. What's going on, buddy?
Hi.
Can you close,
Hi, Lucas.
Can you close the door for me? Hold on. He can't actually hear you. Do you want to come on? You want to come on the podcast with us, Luke? Here, come here. Put on the headphones.
I want to say hi.
Here, put on the headphones.
Can you hear her?
Hey, Lucas, can you hear me, Lucas?
Yes.
That's Teresa.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Talking to this microphone here.
Good to meet you too.
And Lucas, so
How's it going?
I was just on vacation. I went to New York City, or Brooklyn, New York. I went to 5 Points Fest, and I came back with a bunch of toys, didn't I, Lucas?
Yes.
And did I let you play with any of my toys?
Yes.
How? You don't have to be so shy. Did I let you play with all of my toys?
No.
So which ones did he let you play with?
Describe
was your
the
favorite?
toys that I let you play with. Which ones were your favorites? The ones that are on top of the dresser that you've been playing with the past couple nights. There was the Flatwood Friends by Horrible Adorables. That's the one that's the wood one where you can interchange the arms and the antlers and all that sort of stuff. You like that one, yeah?
No, my favorite one is the bobblehead.
The bobblehead is your favorite one?
Yes.
I don't have a bobblehead.
No, the bobble one.
The bobble one?
Which one?
Oh, he's talking about the Android one where you can break about all the pieces and reassemble it in a bunch of different crazy formations?
No, the bobble one. Bobble.
The bobble one? Which one are you talking about? I'm going to show you a picture.
Oh,
of
he's the Zaza toys, Gary?
The Zaza toys? The one where you can take the guy out with the one that has the big piece with the little minifigure? Here, I'm going to show you a picture.
The blue bobble one.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about. You're talking about the Zaza toy one. And that's the one that we were talking about on the show. Here, I'm going to show you a picture, and you tell me, you point to which one it was.
Okay.
Here.
The owl one.
Oh, Teresa, he's talking about the owl one that we picked up at that store.
That wasn't even from the event.
So it's, for the listeners.
It is
it's
a bobble. It wobbles. He's totally right. It's a little wobbly owl.
I know the entire time I'm thinking he's crazy. I'm like, I didn't get a wobble toy, but no, it's this cute little owl guy. You know, he can never topple over. He just wobbles. So that's your favorite one? I thought it was this Android one right here. You played with that one for hours.
Nope.
Oh, Lucas.
It's too hard to make now.
Well, I mean, it's a little tough for your fingers, but I know from when I brought it home that first night, you played with it for a long time. And you like this one, the Zaza Toys. You like that one?
There's the bobblehead the most.
I know.
I only played with that one the one time, and this one time, and this one time.
And why doesn't Daddy let you touch all of his other toys?
Because they're fragile.
And he doesn't want those ones to get hurt. Not to say that I don't like the ones that you're playing with, but those ones are designed to be played with, so I allow you to play with those ones. Here, I'm going to let Teresa talk to you, and talk to Teresa.
Hi, Lucas.
Hi.
Just talk into this microphone.
Hi.
But Lucas, I want to know, you should tell your dad that you want to play with more of his toys.
Yeah.
He should let you play with.
He gets to play
Is
with
there-
plenty of my toys.
Wait, you can hear her?
Yeah.
A little bit.
How?
I can sort of hear through your headphones.
What about now?
No, not now. You
Do
don't
you
want
still
me to hear her? You just want to have a private conversation with Theresa?
I have toys everywhere.
She has more toys than Daddy, Lucas.
Huh?
She has more toys than me, probably.
You want to see this, Lucas? We'll see there's toys here.
Whoa, look at those.
And there's toys here.
Wow.
She has more toys than you.
I think she does.
This is really, really messy. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
I have a lot of toys. I like to put my toys in colors. Yeah, make colors. It's bad, Gary.
Wow.
It's really
You would have a field day at her house.
It's mess. Look at this. Look how bad it is. It's bad.
Tell her to clean her house up.
I need to clean my room.
Wait.
Wait. What?
She heard you?
She can hear me. Yeah.
How?
Because this is the microphone. She can hear me talking into this. Lucas, can you say, "Hey, Toy Family"?
Hey to a family.
This has been the Marsham Toy Hour. We do this every week. Not because we have to.
But because we want to.
So until our next transmission, we're signing off. Bye.
Bye.